Amigo.
We talked in part 1 of this series that Tupac and his family moved to California to live with a family friend. During Afeni's travel to different places, Tupac experienced various things, whether it's hate or motivation for art. He tried many different things everywhere. For his sophomore year, Tupac was accepted to the Baltimore School for the Arts. He enjoyed his classes there, studying theater, ballet, and other arts. It was during this time that Tupac became close friends with another student named Jada Pinkett. We all know who she is now. Even at this young age, Tupac was outspoken on the subject of racial equality. His teachers remembered him as being a very gifted student. He was an avid reader. He delved into the books on Eastern religion and even read entire encyclopedia sets. Hiding his love of literature from his peers, he gained the respect of them by acting like a tough guy. Tupac composed his first rap in Baltimore under the name MC New York. The song was about gun control and was inspired by the fatal shooting of one of his close friends. These wild qualities were the reason for his name Black Prince. In California, Tupac moved into Leela Steinberg's home with his friend Ray Love at the age of 17, and he eventually dropped out of high school. Leela Steinberg acted as a literary mentor to Tupac, an avid reader. In August of 1988, Tupac's stepfather Mitulu was sentenced to 60 years in prison for armed robbery after being on the FBI's 10 most wanted list for several years. Shakur soon moved in with a neighbor and started selling drugs on the streets, but also made friends who helped spark his interest in rap music. One of these was Ray Love, and with a mutual friend named DJ Dizzy or Diz-E, they started a rap group called Strictly Dope. Their recordings were later released in 2001 under the name Tupac Shakur The Lost Tapes. Their neighborhood performances brought Tupac enough acclaim to land an audition with Shock G of Digital Underground. Steinberg has kept copies of the books that Tupac read, which include J.D. Salinger's Catcher in the Rye, Jamaica Kincaid's At the Bottom of the River, Herman Melville's Moby Dick, Ethan Southern's Music of Black Americans, and the feminist writings of Alice Walker and Robin Morgan. Most of these books were read before the age of 20. It has been said that Tupac was in fact more well-read and intellectually well-rounded at that age than the average student in the first-year class of most Ivy League institutions in 1989. Leela Steinberg organized a concert with Tupac's group Strictly Dope. The concert led to him being signed with Atron Gregory, who set him up with Digital Underground. Tupac's professional entertainment career began in the early 1990s when he debuted his rapping skills on the same song from Digital Underground album. This was an EP release. He first appeared in the music video for same song. After his rap debut, Tupac performed with Digital Underground again on the album Sons of the P. Later, he released his first solo album, TUPAC'S Now. Initially, he had trouble marketing his solo debut, but Interscope Records executives Ted Field and Tom Valley eventually agreed to distribute the record. Tupac claimed his first album was aimed at the problems faced by young black males, but it was publicly criticized for its graphic language and images of violence by and against law informants. In one instance, a young man claimed his killings of a Texas-based trooper was influenced by this album. Former Vice President Dan Quayle publicly denounced the album as having no place in our society. TUPAC'S Now did not do as well on the charts as future albums, spawning no top 10 hits. His second record, Strictly for My You Know the Word, was released in 1993. The album, produced mostly in part by Randy Stretch Walker, Shakur's closest friend and associate at the time, and the live squad, generated two hits, Keep Your Head Up and I Get Around, the latter featuring guest appearances by Shock G and Money B of the Digital Underground. Shakur's profile was raised considerably by his acclaimed role in the Ernest Dickerson film Juice, which led to a lead role in John Singleton's Poetic Justice the following year. By the time the film hit theaters, Tupac had released his second album, You Know That, which became a platinum album, peaking at number 4 on the R&B charts and launching the top 10 R&B hit singles I Get Around and Keep Your Head Up, which peaked at number 11 and 12 respectively on the pop charts as well. Tupac's career was going smooth in the music industry as well as the theater industry. His life was turning to be good and he was doing what he loved the most. This was the time when Tupac still had his kindness and pure emotions, until things took a turn and then turned the good inside him as well. What happened backstage during the glamorous years of his life was the real game-changing things happening in his life. What were they? Well, we will talk about that in the next part of the series. Till then, subscribe the channel and like the video. Peace.